Give it up for me. Now, on my debut video, I think I went like 10-4 on picks. 10-4, something like that. We're about to see for sure. Name another MMA YouTuber who predicted Michael Johnson and Paulo Costa to win. It would have been even better if I picked D-Rod. But who thought he was going to win? Alright, guys. Welcome back to the channel. We're going to be going through and reacting and reviewing to the UFC 318 card. Dustin Poirier, the legend, the diamond, loses to Max Holloway in the main event in his home state of Louisiana. Not in his hometown, but close enough. Dustin's my favorite fighter, and he went out there and looked like a vet who had a couple miles on him. A few too many wars for the diamond. He just looked a step below him. I mean, let's just go ahead and get right into it. Dustin Poirier, Max Holloway. Now, a lot of people are like, oh, Max schooled him. Absolutely schooled him. I wouldn't go so far to say that. Did he beat him handedly? Yes. Did he look above him? Did he look above him? Yes, he did. Dustin looked slow. He looked like he was ready to... He wasn't what he used to be. I mean, he could still compete in the top 10, no doubt. But I'm glad he's hanging it up. There's nothing else for him to do, especially now that he lost. It was a fun fight, you know. It wasn't a banger, because I do know bangers, and it was not a banger. But it was a great fight. It was a scrap. It's what you were going to get no matter what with these two guys stepping in the octagon. And Max looked fantastic. 155, watch out. That Ilya rematch is looking quite interesting if Max gets another win, for sure. And Dustin, I love him to death. He's my by far favorite fighter of all time. He was too slow. He was too slow, and Max just mixed it in a little better. I mean, using those body kicks to keep the distance and make Dustin scared to enter because he was just getting blasted by a big Hawaiian bat right to the ribs, man. And I know Dustin was talking about how easy this weight cut was and all that. Man, I honestly thought he was a little too lean. Maybe it was just because Max looked really thick out there. I thought Dustin looked a little too lean. I mean, even in these pictures, maybe it's the haircut. I don't know. Maybe I'm leaning into it because I'm a big Diamond fan. But I thought Dustin looked a little undersized and too slow. And too slow was exactly what lost him the fight. I mean, Holloway was just able to get better of the best of every exchange except for round 2 when he dropped him. And, God, I was throwing my tequila everywhere. I was, Dustin, get him! And he did not get him. In fact, did not get him. I'm just so glad he did not get slept. And to everybody saying Max let him up in the first round, y'all are stupid. No, he did not let him up. That's the most retarded thing I've ever heard. Max is not that guy, no matter how much respect he has for Dustin. Neither of those guys are those guys. And yeah, that did not happen. But Max looked great. I mean, his boxing's just so good. And he's so good. He pointed down and made Dustin wrestle. Turned into Matoush Gamrot. But, no, Holloway looked fantastic. I mean, mixing in with the kicks, I know a lot of people are just saying mixing in, but those kicks, like, compared to his run at 145, those kicks are nasty. They got a little more oomph on it up at the 155 division, I think, and he just looks powerful, and he looks like a top 5 lightweight in the world. Honestly, I think he's the best lightweight besides Ilya. Besides Ilya, of course. How good is Ilya after watching that fight? That's what I kept thinking about. How good is Ilya? But, yeah, Max Holloway gets it done. And, I mean, there's not too much to say. I'm glad Dustin got to fight New Orleans. I'm glad that's how he went out. It was a good fight. Dustin was not in his prime. Max is. And I'm not saying that just to, like, belittle Max. That win was super impressive. He did exactly what he should have done. And honestly, like, a lot of people, maybe not some people, but a lot of people for sure had this fight being closer. And it was 4-1 max, 49-46 for sure, maybe even 50-45, you know. But yeah, and I like Max, don't get me wrong. I just love Dustin. I hated to see him lose. I hated Lil Wayne walking out with him and not being able to perform. That was dumb, man. Give us something, Dana. You're going to give us these horrible cards. And by God, in 2 to 3 years, it's going to be Max Holloway, Kevin Holland in Idaho for the BMF title at UFC 317.5. Or 320.50.5. I swear we're going to get that fight with the stupid BMF title. They could do it right if they did it right. But they don't. That's another video. But Dustin, he didn't implement any leg kicks, really. All he did was try to box out there, and he was just outboxed. He was outpaced, outquicked. Dustin landed some... I don't think... He landed a lot of shots in those rounds, but Max just landed damaging shots in more volume, and that's what won him the fight. He was just better. He just beat him out there. But, you know, Dustin, stay retired. There's no point in coming back. Unless you're getting a fat paycheck, get a fat paycheck. But don't come back. You retired great. The only thing you could ask for more right there was a win. That's the only thing you could ask for more. Was just to win your last fight, and you didn't, and that's okay. Like I said, my gut told me Holloway. It's exactly how I really thought the fight would plan out, but I had to pick Poirier. Could have not posted a YouTube video, my first MMA YouTube video, without picking the diamond. And I picked him, and he lost, but that's okay. So 0-1 on the books. 0-1. It's backwards. I feel like Paulo Costa. And let's get into that real quick. Love you, Dustin. Enjoy retirement. Finger guns. And Holloway needs to fight Oliveira next. Ooh, video. Okay, I'm going to make a fights to make video, hopefully, so I won't say that. But yeah, you should. Moving on to what my personal favorite performance of the night was Paulo Costa. Absolutely manhandling Roman Kopylov. Made Roman Kopylov look silly out there. In the third round, Kopylov did land some stinging strikes. I shouldn't probably say that. But Paulo looked great. Again, another story of mixing it in. Really won those fights with his kicks, Costa. Those body kicks were so nasty, and he attacked that lead leg so well. I don't think Kopylov really thought of any imminent danger in getting calf chopped by Paulo Costa. That's exactly what Paulo did. Paulo honestly looked a little more thin in there, which he's looked slower, but the past fights he's lost, against Strickland and Whitaker and Vettori, he looked quick and he looked sharp out there. And it was a pleasure to watch him. I mean, look at the numbers right there. I'm surprised they're even that good. But yeah, Paulo looked great. I would have liked to see his hands do a little more. I feel like he was a little hesitant, but that does make sense. We could be seeing kind of like a Dominic Reyes resurgence here in the middleweight division with Paulo Costa, and I hope we do see that. Costa is super entertaining. Go follow his Twitter; it's hilarious. Yeah, and Kopylov, I really was convinced on the Costa pick. Like, that wasn't just going against the grain. I was really confident on the Costa pick, and it was kind of exactly what I thought. Kopylov just got outclassed out there. I kind of thought, Kopylov, solid kickboxer, quite powerful, solid physical athlete in the middleweight division, and beating those non-top or those fringe top 15 guys, that's perfect for what he is, and that makes so much sense. But you step in there in a guy against Costa, granted, most of the reason why you wouldn't pick Costa is because of how he's performed in the last fights and how he's looked. But I just saw, I watched him embedded, and I listened to a couple of his interviews, and just seeing how he looked and how he felt and talked about the fight seemed a lot different. And I thought with his skill set and how he was going to approach this fight, he was going to just be able to outclass Kopylov. I didn't see a finish happening, and we went to a 3-round decision, and Paulo Costa clearly 30-27 unanimous decision over Roman Kopylov. It was a joy to see. I'm loving the future for Costa here. If Hamzat loses to DDP, which he will, but Costa Hamzat, I don't care about the rankings. That's a fight to make. If Hamzat loses, he may retire. But if not, that's a perfect fight to give him because you can promote it. And yeah, I loved seeing how technical Costa was with still him being explosive and powerful with that frame and just whipping those kicks. Yeah, it was beautiful. Love seeing Costa in the win column. Kopylov, Chase Hooper, better luck. Better luck next time, my man. On to the featured bout. Let's just go ahead and call it how it is with these two little these two numbskulls. God, this made our sport look so bad. Oh my gosh, this is what I'm talking about. Like, this is a fine fight you're gonna have on a UFC card. Opening fight of a solid pay-per-view or a featured prelim fight. But having this as a feature fight of a UFC pay-per-view was absolutely atrocious. It was a fun fight. Don't get me wrong. You're sitting there watching it, like I was. Tequila in hand. Oh, it's a fun fight. Why is Kevin Holland losing to Daniel Rodriguez? Why? It was horrible. Horrible performance by Kevin Holland. I was really hoping this was the fight to give him confidence in the welterweight division and see him, get into some actually ranked guys and not just fighting every bloke off the corner. But he lost to the bloke off the corner. Shout out D-Rod. Great fight. He seems like a cool guy. He was as bad as I thought he was, and he still beat Holland. Throwing combinations from the hip. And you lost, Kevin Holland. You lost. You got dropped by him. You got dropped. Yeah, that was a pitiful performance by Holland. This is how bad it was. Both of them should have been finished on separate occasions. Easily. How do you not put him away, Kevin? How? This was so bad. And Rodriguez is sitting there plotting forward. And it's like Kevin Holland's just, wow, where are these shots coming from? You can telegraph them. They're coming from the hip. He moves exactly where his punches go, and he still lost. Got his takedown stuffed, couldn't implement a grappling game against a guy who has no jiu-jitsu whatsoever. This was pitiful, and I hated watching this on a pay-per-view main card, and it really upsets me because these are not the fights we should be subjected to. On a pay-per-view main card, this is supposed to be where you put the talent and the best talent. A pay-per-view main card. And this was not at all what it was. Good on D-Rod, though. So what am I? I'm 1-2. The main card, nobody got main card picks right. I cleaned up on the prelims, boy. But 1-2, nobody picked D-Rod. And good on D-Rod for getting the win. Kevin Holland, dude, 45-70. And okay, moving on. This was, again, on paper, this should be a solid skill fight. Maybe not an absolute barn burner. But this was awful. This was a boring fight. If you make excuses saying this is somehow entertaining, besides the slight decent shot Pitbull landed on Ige in, I believe, the second round. If you're trying to say this is a good fight, you're dead wrong. Stop watching the sport. You watch it for social media takes only. Stop watching the sport if you think this was a good fight. It was awful. I'm not even going to talk about it that much. Patricio got a couple of takedowns here and there. He did win the fight. He won the fight. He landed better strikes. Ige, another Nick Sick fuck up. He's just ruining fighters. Ige, Strickland, and we're about to talk about Zell Huber. These are not sparring sessions. Go fight. That goes for you too, Pitbull. You just outsparred him, and that's not impressive. I never want to see Pitbull on a main card until he has a decent win. This was not a decent win. This is a bad look on both fighters. I love Dan Ige, honestly. He's a gangster. This was not a gangster performance. This was an awful performance. Again, this should never have been on the main card. Well, I guess it's easy to say in hindsight, but my God, dude. Vinicius and Kyler should have been on the main card, and Marvin and Brendan Allen should have been on the main card. These other two should have been. And you should foresee this coming. I don't know if I touched on what type of fight this would be in my previous video, but I didn't think it'd be a bar burner. But I thought it'd be, a decent fight. It was not. It was bad. Patricio gets the win. I was so mad about this fight. I had higher hopes, and I guess I should have. Patricio just plodded forward, and honestly, I think the only reason he won is he just threw more. Like, the fact Ige, like, hold on, does this do anything? Yeah, he just, Patricio just, let's see. Why do they should have it anyways. Yeah, Patricio just outlanded him like a couple times each round, and that's what won him the fight, except the second round he hurt him. Good job. Give it up for Patricio. He hurt Dan Ige in a sparring session. Give it up for the Pitbull. The Pitbull. No, this is another Bellator douchebag. He sucks. Giving Josh Emmett and put him in a seizure. Not actually, I don't wish a seizure on anyone. But, Josh Allen. Go Bills. No, Josh Emmett knocked this guy's lights out and put him down a step because he thinks he came in here and beat Dan Ige after losing to Yair. He acted like he was just debuting. And he has nothing to say. I don't like this guy. I'm praying on his downfall. Give him Emmett and let Emmett starch him. Dan Ige, I hope you realize this is not how you should be fighting. You're not gonna win fighting like super one. Like, dude, you gotta go. You gotta be a little quicker on your feet like you used to be, and you gotta throw those 50K Ige bombs, man. Those 50K Ige bombs. You didn't throw one. And I was so disappointed in it. But yeah, Patricio wins. 1-4. The main card was impossible. Here's where we turn up. Hey! Michael Johnson with the W. I told y'all exactly. He was going to break that void in between them. And that's what he did. He didn't knock him out. I did think he was going to knock him out. But he kept going in like he was going to knock him out. And that's what won him the fight, man. Zell Huber. Dude, Eric Nixick. I think he's a cool guy, and he probably is a good coach. But, dude, another guy who he won going into the fire, and you're going to tell him, hey, buddy, Zell Huber, we really got to just get those leg kicks in there, Got to pepper that calf, then go to the body, and that's where you're going to really win this fight, man. Not like Michael Johnson, shorter and can shell off, break his distance because Zell Huber's not that quick and Michael Johnson super fast and just land bombs on him round after round, man. And the fact Michael Johnson in the Big 25 outstruck Daniel Zell Huber 81-52 says a lot about our sport and the fact that these are the prospects that they feed us. Like Zell Huber, dude. He for sure could have won that fight in combination with those kick techniques and let your hands go. Dude, you know how you could literally hold his head. You could hold his head and push him back from you, Zell Huber. That's how long you are compared to him. Pause. But no, Michael Johnson just breaks. Oh, I'm spitting everywhere. Come on, buddy. Sorry. It's the cat. Not right now. I'm making a video. But, dude, it was exactly how I thought, except he didn't knock him out. So, that is what? 2-3? Can I do math? 2-3. Yeah, 2-3. Went 2-3 on the main card. Not great. But, I predicted this one straight up. He just broke that space and landed bombs on him. And it was, I was kind of cool. It's kind of cool to see the unction. It was really the unction. This was the unction card, the unction 318 card. That's why it's going down in history, is the unction card. All right, let's go to the next one. We got Kyler Phillips and Vinicius Oliveira. I was so disappointed in this fight. Kyler Phillips, he is that guy who wilt after a strong first round, but he wilted harder than I ever could have thought he could have wilted. That's how bad it was. And Vinicius, he did his thing, hands at the side, swinging it. Fun to watch, but it wasn't a boring fight by any means, but it was goofy. I didn't like what I've seen out of Vinicius at all. I thought we were going to see him absolutely just starch Kyler Phillips at some point in this fight. And we would see him in a cool matchup up at Bantamweight. But no, I don't want to see that. I want to see Vinicius against somewhere right there in the rankings where he is before we see him get that type of fight. Because he didn't show much here. Grappling was better than I thought. His cardio was solid, even though he kind of fought like he was tired, but he didn't seem tired. I told you about that in my picks and previews. Burp. That's gross. But yeah, Vinicius gets it done pretty much by just plotting forward and letting Kyler Phillips tire himself out and just land effective strikes after the first round. Because Kyler Phillips easily won that first round, and Kyler just stopped landing strikes. And I don't even know how to talk about this fight because I was so unimpressed by it. So we're just going to go ahead and move on. That's 3-5 now. 3-5. Fight of the night. Honestly, I agree. Should have been fight of the night. Vettori Allen. I kind of predicted this one too. Yeah, 4-5. Brendan kept it at range. He fired. At first, in the first round, fired a lot of good leg kicks and body kicks and kept the distance managed really well. Vettori, all he had for him was a 1-2, and it actually landed quite a bit. Honestly, if you go look at my verdict scorecard, I may have somehow scored this for Vettori. Now, thinking about it, I don't know how or why I did that. I don't. Because I'm pretty sure Brendan Allen won. I think it was closer than a lot of people thought. I mean, look at the numbers. I think it was a lot closer. That's just one man's opinion, though. But I think the right man won at the end of the day, so we're not going to talk about that for too long. But yeah, Brendan Allen kept it at distance. Outboxed him. Just straight up outboxed him. Was able to get a little control time here and there. I thought we'd see more submission threat, which we didn't. And Vettori was able to... did he take him down? He reversed position, and it looked pretty good. Yeah, honestly, didn't think Allen would be able to take him down like he did those few times, but hey, good on him. Yeah, but he landed more effective strikes and did more damage. I mean, it was a straight up 1-2 fest, and Brendan Allen mixed in some kicks in the first round and a couple hooks there and there. I mean, Vettori he was just 1-2 in it, man. I love Vettori. I hope everything's well with him. I hope we see him back. I do. But yeah, Brendan Allen, they both look bad though. So I don't want to see Brendan Allen in a big fight, man. He's a fringe top 15 guy. Marvin Vettori's not a top 15 guy anymore, and I'm not so sure Brendan Allen really is. Looked decent against Fluffy for a little bit, but yeah, he kept it at distance and landed more damaging strikes. That's pretty much the ordeal of this fight. Really basic fights. That's why I wasn't a fan of this card. We didn't see anything too special at all, except Costa. Watching him like that was special, and that technique was good. Holloway Poirier, that's special. Two of the best boxers of all time. Two very, very good fighters in general. So that was good technique and skill and enjoyable to watch. The rest, though, not really. We're gonna go a little faster now. Francisco Prado, Nikolai Vertenikov. This is one of the ones I got wrong, and it was a split decision, and I really thought about switching my pick to Vertenikov, but I thought Prado would be able to outdo him on the feet. This was a stupid, goofy, Looney Tunes fight. I think the right guy got the decision. Prado would, initiate these grappling situations, and he would get, for a little bit, he'd have control and do a little bit of damage, and then Nikolai would just take over. He would just be like, okay, actually, I'm going to grapple now, and I'm going to reverse you and do damage on you. And he just kept doing that. And he landed the better strikes on the feet. It's hard to break down and boring to break down these fights because these are super basic and I don't know, what do you want me to say? He beat him to the punch. Wow, what a punch! And it's super basic stuff. Split decision here. Both these guys are going nowhere. I was not impressed. Moving on. This guy, though, let's talk about Ateba Gutierrez. Now, I told y'all Gutierrez. Come on. Dude, how do you tell him shit? Come on, hit me more. And he does. And you didn't do anything to stop it. Ateba Gutierrez, very dangerous. I hope they give him a step up in competition. He deserves it. He's starching guys. That power looks nice. The Ngannou of the middleweights. Ngannou. Ngannou. But it was cool to see a guy just like a plot, maraude, he's a marauder. Yeah, he was. He really was. And I like he was patient and he waited for the openings to come to him, and especially when you're fighting a guy like Valentin, who's going to be super defensively. He's not going to be there defensively, huh? He's really not. He just waited for good, solid strikes, and those hands are dangerous and nasty. And your boy Valentin, he looks like he's for the third rank. This picture with those tattoos. But yeah, Ateba just slept him. Looked 10 times just better. Yeah, slept him. There's not much to say except Gutierrez looks solid. I like how patient he's being. I like how he is plotting. He's being more calculated, and he's not just, hip throwing. I like seeing that from him. And he throws bombs, and it's cool to watch. Give him a step up in competition. Moving on. Down to the early prelims. Sigma boy. The Sigma Chad, Islam Dulatov, the male model. Absolutely starches Fugit. I liked what I seen from Dulatov. They need to bump him up in competition after this, though. Fugit, if he don't get cut, I don't know when he does. But yeah, Fugit just really had nothing for him. He moved forward with his elbows down. This is how Fugit fights. He fights like this. And yeah, Dulatov was just he just outstruck him. He showed a nat. His kicks looked pretty nasty, I thought. And the hands were just there. He just walked forward, and Fugit would throw a little leg kick here and there, and he just beat him up. Like, that's how they just got beat up. Like, it's not even, like, crazy technical. Dulatov was every time he found him, he found that shot to knock him out when he was vulnerable defensively. And Dulatov, like, they shouldn't have been in the cage together. It's just, there's just not much to talk about. I hope Dulatov gets a decent fight next. He's going to be interesting to watch. He's a freaking Sigma, dude. Bye-bye. But, yeah, I got to get my jawline like him. But anyways, he's a fun prospect. It was a fun knockout. Yeah, we'll leave it there. Jimmy Crute! Again, where I was right. He beat Pragnell. Oh, shoot. Pragnell looked really good on the feet, and Crute looked like if he didn't get that to the ground, man, it would have been wraps. But he got it to the ground, man. He did. His chain wrestling looked really nice, and how he was able to frame off and set up that armbar was nice. And I feel like a lot of light heavyweights or guys kind of in his range wouldn't have worked that armbar like he did and hold that grip and just reposition himself and be patient. So I think that's a good thing seen from Jimmy Crute. And I didn't even know. I guess he retired for a little bit. I didn't even know about that. But he did, I guess, in 2023. But that's looking calm and composed in the octagon like that, especially grappling at 205. That's a recipe for a solid career, I think, honestly. We need to work on the striking, though, because Pragnell, while he is, like, dangerous, he just... and I think Jimmy Crute, honestly, shave off a little weight, Crute, and get quicker. And tighten up that boxing, and I think you're dangerous, dude, because that grappling looked really good. It's not like Magomed, not Big Ank grappling, and it ain't the Big Ank Alive grappling, but it was solid, and I liked seeing Jimmy Crute get a win, so that was great. Beautiful armbar. Moving on. Another armbar win for Ryan Spann. Pretty much exactly what I told y'all, except grappling-wise. This guy, Bresky, has got to go, dude. How bad is Walter Walker? Walter. No. Yeah, Ryan Spann went in there. Lucas looked like he's never been on a mat before. And Ryan Spann just easily framed up an easy armbar and got him out of there quick. And I was glad to see him get him out of there quick. I want to see Spann, though, stand and trade at heavyweight. I want to see what he looks like. Because, honestly, he's coming in a little heavy. I don't like how he looked at all. I think he should come in there lighter man skill, and be quicker. And he has hammers on his hands, and that grappling looked really good. So I'm interested to see what he does at heavyweight now. I really am. Hopefully, but like I said in the preview, like he reverts to like this Minecraft character sometimes who's just, and I hope we don't see that out of him because he could be decent at heavyweight. I mean, give us something at heavyweight. We can't even get a Tom Aspinall fight booked, and John Jones is, I'm going to have to come back for the White House fight. No! Dana said no. Moving on. Dude, Moose. Moose was bad. Another easy submission win for a thick boy, Bruno Ferreira. He did exactly what because I was mentioning how it could be closer, and it kind of was close at first. You're like, whoa, because Bruno he was very rangy for him, and it took a little bit for him to get on the inside, and when he did, he ended up taking him to the ground, and I thought that was a great idea. I mean, dude, a guy like this you'd think would have been rolling on mushrooms, at 13 in the local jiu-jitsu gym, but that's what he looks like. But he was not. He was not, because Bruno, again, he frames a beautiful submission. It was armbar too, wasn't it? I'm starting to forget, dude. But yeah, he's an armbar. Yeah, he went ahead and got a nasty armbar win for himself. And I thought that was good to see. His grappling actually looks really good. And that condensed, that density maxing build of Bruno, really gets on top, and you can really put a good amount of top pressure on a more frail guy. And I think he should look to do that in some of his matchups. Not lay on him, not pull the walrus, but pull off some sick submissions like that. Because, he's probably not a top 15 guy, but Bruno Ferreira can be like a prelim fight night merchant where you're like, oh, Ferreira's on the card. Let's watch him finish some moose, So, and I like guys like that. So, yeah. And what'd I tell y'all? Judice, performance of the night, which he deserved. I usually wouldn't talk this highly of a women's fight, not because they're women, but because they're not good. They're not good most of the time. But Carly Judice, I think, is good. Flyweight women in strawweight is not nearly as bad as bantamweight. That's for damn sure. But Carly Judice actually looked really good. Solid technical striking, mixing in the kicks. Those knees up the middle were super nasty. I loved seeing that because you don't see that except for the top 3 and 4 best women's fighters overall out of all divisions pulling out stuff like that. And I thought that was great to see coming from a prospect in Carly Judice. So this is actually a chick you can kind of get excited for, man. Because when you watch her fight, she's going to look like she belongs in a cage fighting because she has the skills to back it up. Probably next, get her in there against a grappler, make sure she's just not, going to just get laid on, because that can happen a lot. But, she looked great. I loved seeing a finish. I said easy decision, but, it was a split. It was a finish, and I loved seeing that out of her. She was aggressive. She looked for the kill, set stuff up beautifully, was framing and cutting off Cagliari from the cage, and I thought that was beautiful to see. And Carly Judice, get excited about her, guys. Let's get excited. We will end the women's exciting fighter drought. Let's get on the Judice train. Oh, shit, that sounds bad. No, she's not a police officer. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Okay. Not bad. Not bad for our first video ever and first picks and breakdowns video. So let's count. So that's 1-0, 2-0, 3-0, 4-0, 5-0, 6-0, 6-1, 7-1, 8-1, 9-1, 9-2, 9-3, 10-3, 10-4. Yeah, that's right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Yeah, math. I'm tired. I just got off work. 10-4 though for your boy, C-Nol MMA, for his first YouTube video, and I think that's pretty cool. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I tried to be a little more comfortable being filmed. I was trying not to think about it and just kind of talk out loud what I usually think in my head, because I have no friends who are into this like me, guys. And look out this week. I'm gonna drop for sure a breakdown and picks for the Abu Dhabi card. Sick. I'm really excited for the Whitaker-Reina de Ritter fight. And I'm hoping to maybe get another one out this week. Maybe like a news cycle type video or something. But, if you're watching this and you like me, or if you think I'm just a funny tard, go ahead and comment for me what kind of maybe videos you'd like me to see post besides like the basic MMA YouTube videos. And leave a like and please subscribe. Mash that button. Mash it. And you can go ahead and hit that notification bell as well. But anyways, I hope this video is enjoyable, and I hope if you're watching this, you support me because I'm really gonna try hard, and I really love this sport. And I'm dedicating this video to Dustin Poirier. One of the reasons I started this channel, and one of the reasons I picked 318 to be the first fight week I post a video, because of you, Dustin. So if somehow ever you see this, just know I love you, man. And diamonds are forever. I don't know why I did this, but hey. Like and subscribe. Thank you. And